Hi, my name is Debra R. Richardson of Debra R. Richardson LLC, and I work with you to help you clean up your vendor processes, clean up your vendor data, and pay the right vendor. Now, this week's Vendor Master File tip of the week is 4 advantages of using virtual cards to pay vendors. All right, so let's start with what is a virtual card. We're going to keep it very high level. A virtual card is a credit card, but it has at least two different attributes. The first one is that there is no physical card, which is great because you don't have to worry about a card getting lost. And then the second attribute is that it is a one-time use, which means it is only good for that one payee, that one vendor, and for that specific amount. Now, here are 4 advantages of using that virtual card to pay your vendors. The first one is that you get that credit card fraud protection, right? That you just don't get with a check payment or with an ACH payment. If you make either of those types of payments and it's to a fraudster, then you're going to have to look at filing a claim if you have insurance or just taking that loss. The next one is you may be able to avoid creating a vendor record. When I was a practitioner, we did this, but it really depends on how you set up the processing of that payment. For us, we did it through our expense team. So you need to make sure that you are working with whatever group you need to work with to determine how you're going to set that up. But I would recommend that however you process it, you try to find that way that avoids creating a vendor record because the less vendor records you have in your accounting system or ERP, the less susceptible you are to fraud with external fraud or even internal fraud. The next one is less 1099s for reportable vendors. That's always great. If you have a payment that is made by the using the virtual card payment method, the credit card issuer will issue 1099s to those reportable vendors. And then lastly, you may have a rebate incentive. Now, I wouldn't get too carried away on this one because not all of your vendors are going to be eligible for or are going to accept a credit card or virtual card payment due to the fees. But for those vendors that are eligible and do accept those or that credit card virtual card payment, then those payments are included in your rebate incentive. Now, I do want to talk about Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And one of the reasons why I picked virtual cards as the first one is because each week of October this year, and October every year is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So each week I'm going to talk about some different fraud prevention or tip that you can use. And I do have 4 events that are going on, one each week in October, and you can access those events on my Cybersecurity Awareness Month tab on the Vendor Process Training Center site. You can go to training.deborarrichardson.com for more information and to look around and see what training you may want to have you or your team take. Now, there is a free training there for authenticating your vendors, which definitely helps with fraud prevention. All right, so if you would like more information on how to improve your vendor process, please go to my site at deborarrichardson.com for free tools and resources to avoid fraud, regulatory fines, and bad vendor data. So good luck and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified next Tuesday for the next Vendor Master File tip of the week.